The government wants to create a national park in the lower Oder Valley. The opposition warns that such changes will preclude further work on the river's decongestion and block shipping.
Oni mówią cały czas o
In general, transportation does not take place by water for simple reasons. There was no infrastructure, there was no proper navigability on the Oder. Today, the opportunities that have arisen unequivocally change the nature and purpose of investment. But this purpose will absolutely be blocked by the national park. Poland's climate ministry claims that the park will not disrupt the navigable route on the Oder, but will enable active nature conservation and the development of sustainable nature tourism. A new national park will be created in the lower Oder Valley, the first after nearly 25 years. According to the opposition, blocking inland shipping on the Oder River by establishing a national park is a setback to the construction of the container terminal in Świnoujście.
demagogia, która
This is demagoguery that is oozing and will continue to ooze the whole time, because it works to the detriment of the development of this waterway, the road to the container terminal in general, and it absolutely helps the competing side, that is, the German side, so that these containers do not flow there. Politicians of the current ruling coalition from the beginning have undermined the legitimacy of the construction of the Central Transportation Port. Since they took power, they have pursued a policy of sham work on the Central Transportation Port. The Germans, on the other hand, have no doubts about the construction of such investments. Recently, Lufthansa Cargo announced the expansion of Frankfurt Airport, where a modern cargo port will be built. I don't know why this is being blocked. It should be moving forward. We need it. The vision of building the Central Transportation Port unites Polish people across divisions.
Budowę CPK poparło ponad 200.
The civic bill supporting the construction of the Central Transportation Port was supported by more than 200,000 Poles, which is more than 2 times the number required to submit such a bill to the Sejm. It is a project supported much more broadly. This support crosses the boundary of party electorates. The same is true for the development of nuclear power. Polish people support the construction of nuclear power plants, while from the government, we hear about delays. The government for which I voted, by the way, is not able to rise a bit above the political divide and is not able to proceed with these investments, which were, however, very sensible. On the other hand, I am a huge fan of nuclear energy, and I think that not to continue is to absolutely fall behind when it comes to development. We need to have clean energy. We need this energy for incubators in hospitals, for example, or for AI development.
Nie wystarczą zapewnienia
Assurances from the Prime Minister that we really want to build a nuclear power plant are not enough. Specifics on the ground are needed. Such specifics are the construction contract, the nuclear power plant financing agreement, as this is the time when we should hear about them. On many topics, Poles can argue, but when it comes to development, we are in agreement. Making strategic investments will allow us to catch up with the competition.
Nasi sąsiedzi Czesi aktywnie
Our neighbors, the Czechs, are actively investing in nuclear. The Hungarians are creating their version of the Central Transportation Port. The same information is coming from Austria, which is almost our neighbor. Germany is expanding transportation hubs. These are the last moments to take this issue seriously and to simply make it happen. Poland's nuclear power plants, the Central Transportation Port, the development and expansion of our ports are investments not for years, but for decades, going far beyond the time horizon of one government or another. They will serve us and future generations of our compatriots, provided that they are completed. People in Poland are wondering, why has the government delayed strategic investments for the economy for the past year?
Wiadomo o co chodzi,
After all, it is clear what is at stake. We are being steered by the Germans, not by ourselves.
Wiele rzeczy jest blokowane.
Many things are being blocked. What is happening? This government should have resigned long ago. Nothing is being done. Everything is being done against the Polish people.
Dlatego, żeby się przypodobać.
For this reason, to please the Germans, simply because they rule, they have a monopoly on ruling, on everything, and we are like those doggies. Nuclear energy is clean, stable, and cheap. The Central Transportation Port is a new transportation system, an opportunity to develop air, road, and rail infrastructure, and the expansion of seaports will give the region an advantage.